ever wonder why some customers find you, buy something, and then just vanish, while others seem to become your biggest cheerleaders? Well, the answer isn't random. It's all part of a hidden map that every customer follows. We call it the customer journey, and understanding its 5 stages is basically a superpower for growing your business. So, let's map it out.
Here's the game plan. First, we'll uncover this secret path. Then, we'll see how someone goes from a total stranger to an active shopper. After that, we'll look at how to close the deal without a hitch, explore what happens after they click buy, and finally, see why this whole journey is a loop that never really ends.
All right, so let's start with the big picture here. Getting a handle on this path is the difference between just guessing what your customers want and knowing exactly how to lead them right to your front door.
Let me just ask you this straight up. Are you losing customers without even realizing it? It's a fear that keeps pretty much every business owner up at night. And you know what? It almost always happens because there's a broken step somewhere on their path to making a purchase.
This whole process, from start to finish, is the customer journey. Think of it as the entire story of their relationship with you. From that very first moment they even hear your name, all the way to becoming a diehard fan who tells all their friends about you.
And here is that map, broken down into 5 clear stages. It all kicks off with awareness. Then they move into consideration. Then comes the big moment, the purchase. But, and this is so important, it doesn't stop there. It continues into the post-purchase experience. And, if you do it right, the ultimate goal, advocacy. Let's dig into each of these stops. Okay, let's get into our first 2 stages. This is where the magic really starts to happen. We're talking about taking a complete stranger, someone who doesn't even know you exist, and turning them into a person who is actively thinking about spending money with you. So step 1, awareness, is actually pretty simple in concept. You just have to get noticed. In a super crowded and noisy world, your entire goal is to cut through that noise, raise your hand, and just get them to see you. You're planting a flag that says, hey, we're over here, and we might just have what you're looking for. So, how do people find you in the first place? The numbers here are really telling. Organic search, SEO, is a powerhouse with a 64% effectiveness rate. That means being easy to find on Google isn't just a nice little bonus anymore. It's the #1 way customers discover new brands, with social media coming in as a strong second. And speaking of social media, get this. A whopping 75% of consumers have actually bought something after seeing it on a social media platform. That's huge. It just proves that all those posts and ads aren't just for show. They lead directly to people discovering you and, down the line, buying from you. Okay, so they know you exist. Great. Now they slide into the consideration stage. And this is a major shift in their mindset. They're not just passively scrolling anymore. Nope, they're now in research mode, actively comparing your products, your prices, and stacking you up against all the other competitors out there. So what actually sways their decision at this point? You might think it's all about who has the lowest price, but the data tells a totally different story. Look at that. Reviews are the clear winner at 87%. Let that sink in for a second. What other people are saying about you online is more important than your price tag. That's wild. And we're not talking about just a handful of shoppers here. We're talking about almost 9 out of every 10 people checking out reviews before they even consider hitting that buy button. So what does this mean for you? It means if you don't have good social proof, you're pretty much invisible during the most critical part of their decision-making. All right, so they've done their homework, they've read all the glowing reviews, and they've picked you. Awesome. Now we're at the moment of truth, the purchase. This is where you absolutely have to make it as easy and painless as possible for them to actually give you their money. It's probably no shock to anyone that online shopping is king, right? 2/3 of customers prefer to buy things online. This means your website's checkout page isn't just some technical feature, it's your main storefront. Any little bit of friction, any confusion, can cost you the entire sale right at the finish line. And if you want a number that'll really make you nervous, here it is. Almost 70% of all online shopping carts are just abandoned. Just think about that. 7 out of every 10 people who add something to their cart ready to buy just leave. It's like having a massive hole in your bucket right as you're about to get the water home. So how do you plug that giant leak? Well, the fixes are surprisingly straightforward, but they make a huge difference. First, make your checkout process ridiculously simple. Offer different ways to pay. Get rid of any annoying pop-ups or distractions. And for the people who still wander off, a simple automated email can be amazingly effective at bringing them right back to complete the purchase.
But here's the thing, making the sale is not the end of the journey. In a lot of ways, it's actually a brand new beginning. We are now entering the post-purchase stage, and this is where a good business has the chance to prove it can be a great one. This is the defining moment for the future of your relationship with that customer. Everything that happens after they pay, the shipping updates, the quality of support, the follow-up, all of it decides whether you just made a one-time sale or if you've earned a loyal customer for life. And the stakes here are incredibly high. A happy customer is 80% more likely to buy from you again. This isn't just about being friendly. Having an amazing after-sales experience has a direct, massive impact on your revenue. It's truly one of the smartest investments you can make.
So how do you build that kind of loyalty? It really comes down to a few key things. When they have a problem, be fast and be helpful. Reward them for coming back with things like loyalty programs. And stay in touch with thoughtful, personalized emails that show you actually appreciate their business.
And all of this leads us to the final and I think the most powerful stage of the entire journey. This is where the whole thing comes full circle. This is the advocacy stage.
See, the ultimate goal, the holy grail of this entire process, is to create an experience so good that your customers become your marketers. They become your biggest fans, your champions, your most authentic and valuable marketing asset, period.
And the power of these advocates is just mind-blowing. Research from Nielsen shows that a staggering 92% of people trust a recommendation from someone they know more than any other kind of advertising. Think about that. One single happy customer telling their friends about you is more powerful than the slickest, most expensive ad campaign you could possibly create. So, as we look back at this whole map, from that first moment of awareness to the final stage of advocacy, here's the real question for you and your business. Where is your biggest untapped opportunity? Is it getting noticed in the first place? Is it winning them over during consideration? Or maybe it's what you do after they buy. Answering that question, well, that could change everything.